gun show. You just had to.
I,
All right.
I don't have shirts that cover my arms. They rip everything. So I just cover up the arms.
Yeah. Okay, keep going, She-Hulk. Whatever. Whatever. All right, okay, so we're gonna get started. You ready?
Yeah, all right.
You got this. You're gonna rock it. Okay.
God.
Doom, 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 doom. Welcome to Panda Strong Podcast. We interview Canada's top female strength athletes from across Canada. If I didn't already say that. And we do this to empower women to train and compete for strength sports. Yeah, I'm Stephanie, aka Sick Stephanie, and Fantastic the dancer. Why? Because I'm fantastical. And if you're listening, that's you also fantastical. So yeah, I'm a dancer fitness educator from Manitoba, and y'all know me. I'm a strongman athlete, Scottish Heavy Games athlete, and wannabe powerlifter. So today's episode, we're talking about something really important. Last episode, we're talking about overcoming challenges. And today we have the lovely Holly McRae. Hey, ho, can we go? McRae. I feel like that is just like a name of a truck, like the McRae, you know, like built Ford Tough, but McRae Ford Tough, you know, McRae, rolling through the hills with the new 4x4. I don't know. I really want to make a commercial. It's you with the truck with your little ponytail on top, you know? Yeah. So she is a lightweight strongman. But she's lying though, because if you can see her guns right now, like don't mess around, she'll punch you out. So anyways, she's a pro strong woman, and you can follow her on IG at
McRae Strong Fitness.
Oh my God. Anyways, so she is, and what you covered it all, but girl, tell us a little bit about what you do as a trainer. Talk to me, girl.
I'm a certified personal trainer. I'm certified in strength and conditioning. I'm a nutrition coach, and I'm taking my corrective exercise specialist right now.
Oh, I love what you just said. Talk dirty to me, because anyone can talk dirty to me. So anyways, a lot of people who train do not understand how to work with adaptive athletes or people with disabilities and understand those different sciences and, like, you know, post injury, etc., or whatever. And then it's just like, hey, just go to physiotherapist or chiropractor. So that's actually a very few and far between, listeners, to have someone with her type of background. So that's what makes her so fabulous. And that's very important if you have those types of injuries or issues, to go with someone like her who has that training. So yeah, so today we want to talk about a couple of things: overcoming challenges and celebrating your stronger body. And then we're also going to talk about, you know, how to get a 3-month season, like pre-season training plan, because obviously some of you listening are starting to do virtual competitions. Some competitions are opening back up in physical relax, and you want to do that. So she's going to hook you up. So yeah, thank you, sexy pandas. If you're sexy and you know it, raise your hand, shake that ass, make sure there's no grannies around. Yeah, and listen to the end, because we have lots of exciting news and tips and stuff like that. Yeah, thanks for being on a show, girl.
Thank you so much for having me.
Every time I look at those guys, I can't even look at you. I'm like gun shy right now. I can't even handle it, you know?
I can't even pull it down.
Curls after this. So let's start at the tippity top. So you have a really unique background. You're a single mama. I'm a single lady. And
I feel like I just want to dance the whole time.
Yeah, I'm a single lady. Up in the club, just woke up, go and do my little dance. It's like, I do that when I'm pushing my stroller, and at like really inappropriate times, like 7 a.m, and I'm like, I know you like it, I know you do it, and I'm just like drinking coffee, and my baby's like, what are you doing? I'm like, shut up, that's why you exist. Okay. So anyways, at 15, she she had some drugs that she did, but she's amazeballs. She quit that shit, and she got a full-time job at a coffee shop. She was a barista. And then what was really cool is she fought her way back to go to school, which I know how hard that is, because I had to get a GED. Don't you judge me. And then she moved to Thunder Bay. She got a full-time job, finished school. And then what's even more amazeballs is she started a company called You Have It Made. Oh, that's catchy, eh? Oh.
That's catchy.
Yeah. I just said it out loud, like, damn. So she works 3 jobs while being a single mama. A single lady, that's your song. And so yeah, she got to 200 pounds with her daughter, and she was working out. She got back to her pre-pregnancy weight of 150 pounds. Wait, 115 pounds. I can't do math. And then yeah, so in 2013 she had a second child, and yeah, she kept being a single mom badass, and then she continued to go to the gym after her son was born. And then yeah, she did her first competition in 2016, and yeah, and then she got a trainer, started learning how to do this, started her healing journey, and yeah, she started competing in 2016 and got addicted. She got a certification in 2018. She had some injuries in 2019, and then she's a fat ass, bomb ass bitch. You know it, single ladies. And then she won nationals, like Pro Lightweight Canadian Nationals 2020, bitch. And she has a log record and the more other things that are amazing, like Axel record. Listen, let me tell you something. Listen, Axel is the hardest shit. It'll test out your true meatballs. You know, if you can't do an Axel, the fuck out of here. You're not a strongman, a powerlifter. Just kidding, no powerlifters. Oh, trigger! Just kidding. I love you guys. You're on my show. Hello. Anyways, so what got you into strongman? What was the catalyst? Because strongman, as I always talk about, is a lot of training. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of hours, and heavy lifting, same as powerlifting, right? I mean, Olympic lifting is 2 weights in general, but it's like such a unique time demanding sport, and to balance that in your business and jobs and kids, like I don't think most humans fathom how amazing that is. So we gotta know, if you want to teach us how to be just as organized and the shit like you, but what made you go, you know what? I am a boss ass bitch in every other area of my life. I'm gonna go get me some games and some medals.
Actually, I was in the gym. I was trying to lose the baby weight and tone, as they say, and my really good friend, I toned.
This is toning. That is punch you in the face. That's like bodybuilding.
A really good friend of mine actually told me about a local competition that only had a squat, a raised deadlift, and an overhead press. And he's like, "You'd be really good at this." I didn't even know what a squat was. I was like,
what squat was?
I had no idea. I hadn't really lifted weights. I was like, you're insane. This is not even true. But then I kind of like hummed and hawed about it, and I ended up getting a personal trainer and seeing if it was even possible. So I decided, you know what, I'll train for it and kind of see what happens. And I ended up competing, and I don't think I did very well. I think I was like pretty much almost last, but I fell in love with the atmosphere. It was so much fun. Well, and then I just kind of went with it.
Everyone I've interviewed, was it like when they were a little girl, they're like, "Dad, when I grow up, want to be a strong man." They were just like, life is punching me in the balls, and so I'm gonna punch back. And it's like, once you get a little taste, you know, you're addicted. And that was like my whole motivation to stay fit when I was pregnant, even though there's a lockdown and the world was crazy, and I felt like the sky was falling all around me. And then even now, after having this baby, while I'm walking, and then slowly start a jog to be able to do my, you know, my virtual run comps, and then, you know, to start competing again and doing the bodybuilding aspect first, so that I can, you know, be ready for strongman. But it's like, when you first start, you don't have any guarantee, right? You don't have, just like when I started this podcast, like you don't have any guarantee. You have no idea what's going to happen. But it's like, once you try it and once you start it, you don't even know what you're capable of. And that's what's amazing. So, you know, going back to when you were a teenager and you were struggling with addictions and stuff like that, how did you overcome that, and how did that transfer like into lifting?
I'm not sure like right away that it obviously transferred right into lifting. I got really heavy into drugs when I was 14. My dad died, and my world collapsed. I didn't really know what to do. And I ended up moving to Minneapolis and got really, really heavy into crystal meth. And as strange as it sounds, I'm not sure if I was really, really high one day, but we were looking in like a security camera in my sister's bedroom outside. And I swear I saw my dad's face in the clouds. Again, I was pretty messed up, and I took it as a sign that he wouldn't want me to do this. And I don't know, I can't really explain it. I don't even know why. And the next day I left, I went back home, and I never touched drugs again.
Wow.
That was it.
I totally believe in that stuff. I mean, my grandma passed away, and my grandma was like my rock my whole life. And then my cat, Like that was for my trauma. And when my cat died and I put him down in the summer with the lockdown, being pregnant, you know, having to go through move, just all this change all at once and a lot of risk. And I was really scared, you know, it's like, I just feel like sometimes I just feel her presence, you know, and I just feel like in those moments, I just feel peace and like she talks to me and I just feel like I get a sign, and that's what pushed me forward. So I totally get that. I totally feel like everybody comes to a point and place in their life where they're like, you know, is this really what I want? Like, am I made for more, you know?
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, I've already been at the bottom, so I can't go lower, right? And I mean, I can relate to you in so many ways. Like, obviously, my father passed away, but, you know, I didn't know my father my whole life. And so I really struggled with my identity, and not having a sense of identity made sure I didn't have, you know, confidence, because I didn't have confidence or self-esteem. You know, I put up with a lot of crap in my life, and I accepted a lot of crap and from people and things, and didn't demand as much as I should have and could have out of my life. And part of Strongman really set that tone for me of like, you know what, I'm a badass bitch. You know, I realized what I was capable. And then I was like, you know, cutting ties and slowly making changes. And before I know, it's like, damn, you will go from there to here, right? So, but that's a choice you made, right? And it's not an easy choice, but I just respect the heck out of you for being able to do that in that moment. Like that's amazing. Not a lot of people do, you know, some people, you know, even if you're just talking about having like, you know, body dysmorphia, I still struggle with that sometimes, you know. I look at pictures and I'm like, whoa, I'm a babe, you know, but in the moment you're like, okay, you know, I'm not hating. I love cake, people. No, send me trigger messages. All right. So now, like with the personal training and the catalyst moment, was it like, because you, like you said, you loved it so much, you really enjoy training, you're like, wow, I want to give back to people. I want to show people, give them that empowerment that I've experienced through the sport and training back to other people. Is that what kind of made you get into it?
I didn't really get like a strongman personal trainer until a few years into it. So I suffered a lot of injuries because I was told a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of people at the gym, and you have to kind of pick who you want to listen to and who you don't want to. And
yes.
And so, I mean, it was actually something I had said a long time ago, but it was never something that I thought that I was educated enough to do. I had no self-worth. I didn't believe in myself in any way, shape, or form. And so a few years into Strongman, obviously that journey changed. I started, you know, having a lot more self-confidence, and I'm big on always wanting to learn, wanting to challenge myself. The only way that you can adapt is if you push yourself.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to be great, I have to make sure that there's failures. And how do I fail if I don't try something new? So I was like, you know what? Let's go for it and see what happens. Because, you know, being a single mama too, and owning your own business and all the other things wasn't enough. Let's go to school.
I just, yeah, I'm tired of 4 hours of sleep a day. I call my husband like, you come home. I need to have a nap. I'm like, I'm weak. It's like, but honestly though, like my babies, you guys don't understand. My baby eats than that, okay? There's no, I read on all these things. Like my toddler's the same way. I read, they say like they sleep 10 hours. I'm like, no, they don't. But you're drugging your baby at night? You put some like wine in their rice cereal? Shit, you know?
My 12-year-old now sleeps about 10 hours. I'd be lucky to get her out of bed.
Oh my Lord. That would be the day.
It comes in time.
Say this. I want to see this. So anyways, as a single mother, how did you, you know, balance your training and your home life? Like what were the diet, fitness, and home structures that you followed to keep your life balanced? I mean, obviously to be highly organized, but could you give some examples of things, habits, rituals, things you did to just keep yourself in check? I mean, the mental game, the physical game, just keeping a clean house clean. You know what I mean?
Well, I own a cleaning business, so I'm a little anal retentive about cleaning. I think any mother, not even just a single mom, any mom, I guess any single dads too and stuff, can understand if you don't have schedule, if you don't have structures, you're lost. You need to-do lists, and you probably have a to-do list for that to-do list. And I think the biggest thing with moms is we feel guilty for taking any time for ourselves. So you have to overcome that and schedule in your me time. So your time training is just as important as your kid getting, you know, to skating or to soccer, or, you know, making sure they have breakfast. You have to make sure that you give just as much time to yourself as you do for everything else in your life. Also scheduling and meal prep. That's a big one. On the go mom, you get what's easy. You feed the kids right, but you usually don't feed yourself right. So I found making sure that that meal prep again was in my to-do list, and no matter what, always focusing that as just as important. It wasn't that last thing to get done that you can just skip over. And then teaching my children about nutrition, and so they kind of eat what I do now. That makes it a lot easier. If I'm cooking my meals, and my son will ask for chicken and rice, and then at nighttime he wants cucumbers and grapes. So if I'm cooking for me, I'm already cooking for them. So that made it a lot easier.
Yep, 100%. I mean, I give my kid protein shakes that are designed for kids. I give him protein bars. Don't judge me. He used to steal my stuff all the time. And I gave him diarrhea. I was like, dude, this is not intended for you. Because he was like a year and a half. And he'd be like, you know, bitch smacking me to get like, you know, to get my protein bar. And I was like, this is not healthy, bro. But it's the same thing. He walked around with like beef jerky in his hand at the park, and all the little babies that were vegans would like be running to him in slow motion, you know, steal his beef jerky. I go grocery store, he'd be grabbing a block of cheese, he'd eat the plastic wrap. The store clerk shouldn't even get mad. So like, that's amazing. And I'm like, I will pay for this. Please don't have a security guard jump me or my child. I don't need that trauma in my life. But anyways, they eat what you eat, like you said. And my parents were old school, and I'm like, listen, biatch, I did a lot of work. If you do not eat that, you do not eat. And he knows he's got a snack time. So kids are gross, you know, they like eat their dinner at like 11 o'clock at night. It's all dried out, their bread, or like the next day. They're like, oh, tomato. I'm like, ew. So that's how I roll. And like you, I have a schedule for meal prep and cleaning. And I don't do certain things on certain days because I know it's too much mentally, physically. Yeah. And then it's just a domino effect, and it makes your whole life fall apart. So it's like Monday, Wednesday, Friday is my light bodybuilding cardio day. Same as Sunday, except for I do the dance stuff on Sunday. And I just meal prep. I don't clean. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday is when I clean, and I do first thing in the morning when the kids are like, you know, not really awake. Then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, instead of cleaning first thing in the morning, that's when I do my admin, right? That's when I'm sending the emails and doing stuff. So like, cause you know, from business person to business person. So, cause people like to make comments. I'm sure you went through this too. I mean, it's not everyone has positive people in life. I'm wondering if you did, but you know, we have moments of people saying things like today in the grocery store, men, please stop saying this. Like, guys, like, why are you sweating? I'm like, because I just came from an 8K hike, and yeah, and I'm hungry and thirsty. And I was like, I got a baby, because something about the crackers that's fine. And then he was like, so where's your baby? And I'm like, in the wild, you know. I don't know how many times I can say that since he was born. Anyways, so there's, you know, sometimes people aren't super supportive, right? They think it's selfish, you know, for women to train, especially I'm sure as a single mom, right? Like, so how did you deal with that? Like, how did you keep your mindset positive and encourage yourself and empower yourself and inspire yourself? Like, what were some things you did to do that?
I can't say that I always was. Obviously, I have my breaking points. I mean, I'm human, kind of like everybody else. I have my moments of, oh, poor me, and life sucks, and why does this have to happen to me, and I don't want to do this anymore, and I'm just going to drink and not get out of bed. But
tequila in a straw, just lying there, like a beer cap, and inside there's tequila or wine.
Right. So then I realized that I have a lot of people to prove wrong, and I like saying fuck you to a lot of people. And when I hit 30, I learned that I should have said fuck you and fuck off a hell of a lot more often in my lifetime.
Yeah,
because it really helps you. I dealt with a lot of backlash from people for taking that me time for my training, and it definitely weighed on me. But then I think, as I learned, as I grew up, as my children grew up, I mean, I can sit down, and me and my daughter have the best of relationships. She's my best friend. And I think having that open communication with her and her understanding, and us even talking, she tells me all the time how not selfish I am, that I do everything for the house, so I deserve it. So I think even having my kids be so supportive in it, even though they don't want anything to do with the gym, they do support me doing it. And my family is amazing. My sister has 5 children herself. My other sister has 2. Wow. So making sure I have positive female role models in my life, telling me that it's okay. I'm not just a mom. I was Holly before I had children. And I'll be Holly after those kids are grown up, and you can't get lost in being a mom.
No, I mean, it's just for the mental health, right? So like, uh, just recently doing that TV interview, it's like, how do I articulate this? It's just some of the people that were like, you do too much or whatever, when I had my baby, right? The second one are now we're like, oh, hey, congratulations, on the TV thing. And I'm proud of you. And I'm like, you're proud of me? Cause I'm pretty sure like, 4 months ago, 6 months ago, you were like, you need to sleep. You need to, or even just comments about breastfeeding. It's like, yeah, I didn't breastfeed because I couldn't keep up with my ginormous baby. According to Google, he's the Guinness World Record for a 7-month-old. We shall see. I don't know if I want him to be famous, so I haven't called him to tell him that. But like, my baby should be famous. Like, but anyways, he's huge, man. He's like 35 pounds. Okay, God
And
damn.
everybody's got an opinion. It doesn't matter who it is. Somebody's
Exactly.
got something to say.
But the thing is what I've learned is it's people kind of want you to prove them wrong, right? Because it's their own fear and desperation, right? So it's like, just like you have compassion for them and empathy and keep that space, that respectful space, and just do you know what I mean? And if they're meant to come back in your life, then they will. And if not, at the same time, you're having a positive influence on them, and maybe they'll conquer some challenges and pursue their dreams. And but it's definitely there's moments where it's like really hard. So when we go to the 2019, when you had your major back injury, we're talking about like like from not having a trainer, I injured the shit of myself too. I talk about it on the podcast time. Oh, get yourself a coach, people. It's worth the investment. Trust me. Don't touch it. Well, no, I shouldn't say that, but it's recommended. Anyways, so yeah, after you had an injury and you focused yourself, and then you accomplished the goal of strongman. Like, how did you, like, in times where you were feeling really rough, like what were some things you did to kind of, like I said, perk yourself up and get back in the game? Because I mean, there's definitely been moments for me where I've been like, you know what, man, I can't get out of bed. I hurt today, from heavy lifting days. You're like, I can't walk. I gotta lift this baby. I can't even walk. My butt hurts. I can't go down the stairs unless it's sideways, And that's the reason you think, you dirty people. Stop it.
So for that specific injury in 2019, I'd have to say I was pretty grateful. My coach is a world's strongest man competitor. I ended up 2 months later dating another world's strongest man competitor.
Oh.
One of my other coaches, Sam, she is, one of the strongest women in Canada. And I just am surrounded by with so much support. Even my medical team, I have an osteo, I have a massage therapist that work on me all the time. They really kept me mentally in the game, even though I needed to be out of it for a while.
Yeah.
So knowing that there were people around who had been through injuries, who had come out of those injuries, who had, still continued and stuff like that. My friends and my family, I am so grateful and so blessed for the support system I have, because I definitely wouldn't be where it is. So I'd have to own it to my entire support system for taking out of the muck that I could have definitely gone down.
Well, the biggest thing is like, it's like the turtle still wins the race, right? So how I've always looked at life is like, as long as they're moving forward and you don't go back, right, then it's progress, it's positive, it's healthy. And it doesn't have to be giant leaps like PRs every week. It doesn't have to be winning every single competition. You're not a loser. Like, we all win, we all fail at some point. People are like, I have an undefeated record. That's great. But we're all human and we're going to have our moments. And I think what makes you winners is you keep freaking going. Do you know what I mean? Like, every challenge has been thrown at you, you conquered it. And I just think that's really powerful. So for women who don't, like I said, have those support systems, and maybe are struggling with time, because that is legit in certain situations for sure. Energy, maybe injuries, or just support to train. What are some tips you can give to help them get through that?
I think everybody's got some support system in some way, shape, or form. Maybe it's just one person. Reach out. Reach out even to people you don't know, who you look up to in maybe the strength community and stuff. You'd be surprised on just how amazing and how open they are, even if you're shy. Reach out. There's lots of groups on Facebook, Instagram. When it comes to time, you have 24 hours in a day. You can schedule yourself that time. It's really at the end of the day about if you want it or not. There isn't anything in the world that you can't have if you want it enough. But a goal is just a dream, I guess, is just a dream if you don't have a goal and a plan. So write it out, make a plan, make yourself accountable to it. That is gonna, set you apart from somebody who's just doing it casually and somebody who's going to go somewhere in it. Dedicate yourself to it. It's not about motivation. Most of us aren't motivated half the time. It's about discipline.
Yeah.
And you know what? Don't beat yourself up if you do miss time. If you miss a training session, if you do have something going on, that's okay. If you mess up on your food for a week, that's okay. Get up, start again. It's never too late to make tomorrow the first day of your chapter.
Yes.
Right? Like, I mean, we all fail, we all, mess up. And I think learning from that, going, okay, why did I not do this? Why didn't I have the time? Why didn't I get my food in? Understanding why, so then you can fix it and it doesn't happen again. You've got to be accountable to yourself.
And yeah, exactly. And I can't understate how much for women and moms, like, you need to eat. And you know what, like, I say this to my husband all the time, because he'll come home, he hasn't eaten all day, and he's like skinny, and he's opposite to me in terms of metabolism and body type. Like, we're polar opposites. I'm like, I'm a Sag, you Scorpio, you cold, I'm hot. But anyways, like, I say to him, like, when you come home after you've been gone for 12 hours, like, I need your help with the kids. I've got those things I need to do. Like, you need to eat to make sure you take care of you. It's the same thing for me, right? I can't call him back from work like I didn't eat, or blame him if I'm exhausted in the evening, cranky because I haven't eaten. So there was times when my baby was first born that, like, I ate nothing but, like, chicken, because it was easy, it's finger food, right? Not chicken nuggets, but like protein shakes and protein bars and granola bars, like, and fruit and just like healthy things. And I always made sure I got a dinner in, right? It's like, I need to have that hearty, I need to get those calories, especially if I'm going to be like just doing cardio and lifting, because you just feel like crap. My first kid, it was the opposite, right? It's like you pride yourself on, as a mother, like, oh, and your stuff fridge, right? That was the old thing. And that's not true. It's just simply not true. And in terms of mental health and hormonal imbalances and all those things, like, women, especially postpartum, especially for breastfeeding, and even for like up to 2 years postpartum, like, you really need to rehab your body. I mean, your baby sucked like those nutrients out to create itself, right, through you. So you need to replenish. And every time you train, you replenish, drink that water. I just walk around. Like you said, you prepare, right? So it's like, if I'm going to the park, I pack protein bars, I pack protein shakes, and snacks for the kids, so we don't have to wait in line for fries, and then we have more time to play. And if I've done the cleaning and cooking certain days, and it's out of the way, especially in the morning, like, I can't train in the morning because that's just not my situation with my kids. It's not an excuse, it's not a time thing, but it's just not realistic. So I know if I'm going to have energy, I need to nap in the afternoon for an hour. Otherwise, I'm not going to have the energy to work out or do my extra walk in the evening or whatever. So it's a balance, and it's like, you have to fight for it. You have to fight for it. You know what I mean? Like, and then eventually,
and you have to realize that your schedule is going to change. So what works now might not work in 6 months. I mean,
oh yeah, totally.
We're all now living in a pandemic, so everybody's schedule is completely changed, right? Like, so I worked from 9 to 4:30. I came home, I took a 20-minute nap. I fed the kids on the way to the gym, or I fed them on the way to my daughter's skating. So then we had snacks on the way to the gym after that. And then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, my schedule was completely different. So again, you just got to learn to adapt. You got to learn to go through, like, go with it. And guilt is another thing. You got to throw it out the window.
Yeah. It's just nothing but make you feel like crap and keep you up at night. And what was I gonna say? Just living in the moment with your kids. Like, the biggest thing for me where I get bitchy is, like, I love the shit out of my kids, and I don't want to be cranky and tired when I'm with them. I also don't want to be depressed. And like, postpartum depression I had with my first son, and that's a real thing, even like not being a single mom with support. And sometimes, people always say, oh, you're so lucky you're married, as if like every husband's perfect or every wife is perfect and they don't have challenges. And it's like, everyone, like you said, has challenges and they change. And especially when babies are growing, right? The different stages, different demands. So it's like, I'm going to say, just like being open to being creative and not tying your identity up for one thing and trying different things and just going with the flow. Like you said, it's like, I keep scheduling. I'm sure a lot of moms, people are going through this with their own life too. It's like adults as well. They're scheduling activities. They're canceling the gym. They're open. They're like, you don't need equipment to stay fit. Like, none of that stuff. So it's just like being like, if there's a will, there's a way. And this is priority. See, I'm not worried about getting super sick, because I know that I take my supplements and I exercise and I get that fresh air. I'm not judging. I'm just saying that I know that's so vitally important that I'm willing to give up TV, right? And I'm willing to give up movies and all those other things. And in terms of being able to afford healthy food, it's like, well, I don't buy high fashion clothes, right? I don't, you know what I mean? So I move things around where I need to move them around. And I don't care what other people think. I think that's the more important thing, is like, women, we're so hard on ourselves, especially moms, we're so hard on ourselves all the time. And it's like, don't compare, just love on yourself. And I think grace, like what you said, is huge. Just forgiveness of yourself and being human. You know, you're not a damn robot. You're not Martha Stewart. You're not Pinterest. Pinterest is lies.
Oh, Pinterest moms. I think I was a Pinterest like mom, like for the back to school lunches for all of like 2 days. And then I was like, cheese whiz sandwiches for the win. Like, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah. Like I give my kid else food sometimes. He just like won't eat it. And I just like at the end of the night, I just see like all the plates and health. And I'm like, damn it. Here's your freaking chicken nugget. You know what I mean? Or my husband would do that. I'm like, I'll kill you. The other day, here's for example, I made protein pancakes for my baby, for my 4-year-old. And my husband couldn't get him to get dressed. So he's like, here's a chocolate bar. I'm like, I'm going to end you. I'm going to end you so bad. Do you know what these cost? I don't wake up and make these on a Sunday. I'm so tired today, you know? Anyways.
That's right. I'll make dinner. I'll spend like 4 hours prepping a really amazing dinner. And my son's like, I want pogos. I'm like, really? Are you kidding? And then I make him pogos. I'm like, well, but I kind of really wanted your chicken tonight, Mom. I'm like, you're lucky. You're cute. Oh, you're so lucky.
I will end you. I'm like, do you want me to make you pay rent? Do you want me to? I know you're 4, but I'll find a job for you. I'll make you do it.
I brought you into this world. I can take you out.
Don't you ask me. Oh my God. I'll tell you guys stories later. But anyways, so as a lightweight, strong woman, what were some movements and exercise you did when you first began training? We could talk about the postpartum period or just before strongman, either or both. But yeah, what are some specific exercises that you would recommend for people with low mobility, you know, postpartum moms, people with injuries, that kind of thing? So where they have to really kind of focus deep before they lift.
Well, I guess it would really, I mean, I can't give just a cookie cutter exercise. I mean, it depends on really what you're dealing with. It's
some a few good, like can't fail, high probability of success ones people can start with.
I think listening to your body, you know, starting with walking, getting yourself moving outside, seeing how you do, and then regular normal body weight exercises, like, you know, try squats, lunges, just little things, and then see what you can and cannot do and work around that. I know postpartum, obviously, you have to wait until a doctor says yes. And if you don't have a coach or a trainer, talk to your doctor. Your doctor is going to let you know kind of where you can kind of go with it. If you have a coach and a trainer, make sure that they talk to your doctor. Same with any injuries. I have a client who had open heart surgery. I actually have a client right now who is 5 months postpartum. And a big part of their journey is making sure that I speak to their doctors and kind of slowly going about it. You can do, you know, any arm movements and without weight, see if it hurts. If it doesn't hurt, slowly add. If you're at home, because, well, it's a pandemic and the gyms are closed, at least here in Ontario, add some cans of soup to it. See if it hurts. And just kind of go from there.
Yeah, 2-liter water jugs, you know, stuff at home, right? They call it the ghetto gym style, broomstick, whatever, with squats and a lot of like the Pilates, core movement type of stuff, yoga, and just walking, like you said, biking, swimming, the basic stuff. Just you don't have to go insane. Just get your basic levels of cardio and flexibility. Just get yourself to a body balanced composition where you're not like, oh, if I move too hard this way, I'm going to injure myself. You know what I mean? And
that's right.
And it's like there's no shame in that of going slower or going a step back and then moving forward. It's like strength does come. It's a scientific fact. It's impossible not to get strong eventually. It's you know, and the competitions online in person are always going to be there. They're always going to be an opportunity, right? So it's like you don't have to rush into it tomorrow. So with that being said, so you're so easy to interview. You're so amazing. So anyways, you guys, if you haven't already, join our Facebook group, Strong Women of Canada. It's a private group. All of our guest speakers now, in the present, you know, past, they're all in there. They're pro trainers, like Holly up here. They're going to help you get started. And if you're in mid-level, they offer coaching programs. You can connect with them through our group, ask questions on there, and even like hire them to train you. What's really important is that we have DIY tutorials for strongman and videos of me making equipment. And you can actually get equipment from me and my partner in Manitoba if you need. So you don't have to order from the site. So like our Facebook group is really designed there just to help you with the day-to-day needs of getting started in lifting sports and to stay in them despite these challenges. So make sure you follow us on TikTok and Facebook to duet with us. You can do it on IG. We give monthly prizes away for competing or, basically getting involved with our monthly fitness and strength challenges. You can also find them on YouTube. But make sure you tag us at Panda Strong Podcast so I see it. And you can win prizes from our sponsors as well. And this month I've got 2 things I'm giving away, which is a $50 Visa and some Supplement King swag. I've got more Supplement King swag for next month too. So yeah, if you want to train like a badass panda, check out our Spotify playlist. There's one that's Train Panda Strong Cardio, okay? Train Panda Strong Strength. There's one for those lifting gains, and there's one for the cardio when you stick out your booty, pushing the stroller up a hill, especially if you're a single lady on the single living. You want to get that, hey, it works, trust me. I'll do it all the time at the park. I'm like, yes, that's my booty. Yes, you can look, yes. Anyways, so back to the question. Questions. What product supplements do you take and diet plans do you follow to gain mass when you first started training? On your body, girl. I mean, shit, look at those arms.
Any questions about my when I started training is going to be, I have absolutely no idea because I didn't know what I was doing for about like the first 2 or 3 years. No idea.
You had ribs?
At the beginning, I literally lived off pizza pops and wine. Like,
wow.
Worst thing you can do. So pretty much anything that I don't do the opposite.
I did that too. I'm not gonna lie, man. Those little pizza square thingies you can get at the store. Oh shit, girl, you dipped those in some ranch. Oh damn, that's so good, Lord. Woo.
Don't get me wrong. I still like my pizza. That's my thing. I'm a mutant athlete, so all of my supplements come from Mutant, and you don't need to get fancy with supplements if you have a really good all-around diet. You don't need anything too crazy. Obviously, protein powders are staple, right? Yeah. Especially if you can't get in all of your calories, you need that protein. For mass, I mean, high protein, high fat.
Yes, obviously, I do, man, all the time. People are like, oh, it's keto carb. I'm like, no, I need fat for instant energy. I need protein for building the mass. Okay. All right.
People need to stop being scared of carbs. Carbs are not your enemy. You need carbs for energy. Obviously. Like,
just make sure you don't have more carbs than protein. That's the biggest thing.
There's a way to do it.
Oh God, you need to teach me.
And it's on your body type and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I was really injured with a shoulder injury, and now that it's starting to get better, a lot of my lifts have gone up, which helped put on a lot of muscle mass very quickly that I wasn't even aware was happening. And again, it's making sure that your diet, not a diet, there is a difference. Your diet is tailored to what your goals are. I am a nutrition coach, and so I could do my own, but I can't stay accountable to myself.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah. So I mean, any good coach that I know has a coach, and so Sam usually takes care of my nutrition and my weight cuts, and then Max takes care of my lifting and my programming. So I have accountability. I'd say if anybody really wants to put on mass, talk to somebody who's got the education.
Yeah, 100%. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's fine to experiment with the Instagram workouts and the Instagram meals. But the thing is, at the end of the day, is like, you have to be careful with hormones, right? Especially as a woman, you have to be careful and make sure that stuff is checked and balanced and stuff like that. So it's a team. You need a team behind you, and that's healthy and important. Not something you should be ashamed of or should be weird. And once it started, it's pretty easy just to keep going with it, right? It's just that first, humbling of thyself. I just got a car from underneath my butt, you guys. I have a toddler. I just injured my ass with this car. I was like, why does my butt hurt? I got a big ass.
I have a stick right beside me. I have a pool stick that he likes to hit me with.
You know what? My kid, sometimes, today my baby was pulling my hair at the same time, and she was like body slamming me. And I'm like, you know what? I quit. I'm out of here. So my first strongman competition, there was a little jet plane like this on the floor, you guys, and I stepped on it, like it was right before I went to sleep, and it stabbed through. The wings went into my foot. So my first competition, I'm like, oh, how, you know, I didn't win, you know, it was like a sign. Anyways, I was like, I could win competitions here, but I'm getting stabbed with planes, you know. I didn't ask for this. What did I do? Anyways, and I'm like,
usually
you know
it's Legos, like cars or Legos. Like Legos are the enemy. Oh,
I step on a lot of grapes and tomatoes. My kid's a damn squirrel. He's always leaving food everywhere. And it's always like right after I mop. And I'm like, ugh. It's like,
yeah.
why? Couldn't do this like an hour ago? Anyways. So what are some tips you have for single moms and women on a tight budget who are starting out in terms of like diets? I know everything has to be catered towards their own custom needs, but you know, there's always pitfalls, right? And there's definitely hacks in terms of certain things that are cheaper in bulk, in terms of like protein, that kind of thing. So what are just some tips in terms of, like I said, just juggling all women who are on a tight budget and they're like, I need equipment, I need gear, you know, like how do they slowly break their way in?
I think there's so much information out there, Instagram, Facebook. Find somebody who's educated in whatever it may be that you're looking for, training, nutrition, or stuff like that. A lot of people will put out free information to kind of get you started. There is a lot of resources on YouTube. Please be careful on exactly what you watch and stuff. Make sure it's a credible source, and start slowly. Ask around, ask people. I know lots of people, even my friends, they will message me and be like, Holly, what do I do? And obviously I'm not going to give them something tailored, but I can kind of give them a little bit of a blueprint to kind of like push them a bit. And a lot of people will. Same with lifting, just start easy. There's a lot of information. There are a lot of programs from a lot of respectable trainers that, are, 12-week programs for, $8 or something with an app, and try out something like that. Something that might be surrounded a little bit more on your budget. See what's out there, talk to people, talk to your community. A lot of people, at least that I've met that are trainers and nutritionists and stuff, just really want to help people. So it's really not about making the money, and it's not about, taking stuff from people or setting them up for a lie, we genuinely care and we want to help. So most people will kind of guide you on a track, but you have to be willing to at least reach out and find these things.
Yeah, 100%. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to dibble-de-dabble and do what you got to do, man. Like, once again, progress is progress. It's still a life lesson learned. And it's just not giving up, you know what I mean? And not being like, oh, that's superstar powerful Holly, she's so amazing. She starts somewhere too, So I know that during the lockdown, you went through a devastating breakup, and I feel like that was my cat. I know I shouldn't compare a cat to human, but like, I love my cat. He's my homie for life. Anyways, so that was hard, but but there was the best thing ever, because I didn't know if I could be strong without him. I really didn't. I 1000% I was like, man, I've had this cat for like almost like 15 years, 17 years. I was like, I don't even know my life without him. And so that really that caused me to be motivated to make huge change, like this house, and then my home gym and the podcast. It's like the scariest, most I don't think you can do things is usually what is, it's like you should be like thankful that shit hit the fan, because it just launches each other platforms. So yeah, like going through that, and then going in within 4 months, accomplishing every goal you had when you started Strongman. Like, you won provincials for the third year. You set more records like lightweight circus dumbbell Canadian record, and like winning lightweight nationals 2020, and just going on to just set records and stuff like that. How did you get through that? Like, what did you? I mean, you went from just like, I'm doing pretty good to like, bam, you know what I mean? Like, and a huge incline jump, you know what I mean? Like the graph is going up and up and up and up.
Yeah, it kind of hit like a tidal wave. And I'm not even, to this day, I'm not even quite sure I can even like really put my head around it. But I guess when you invest everything of your life into somebody else and their goals and their dreams, you put yourself on the burner and you forget about it. Obviously you break up for whatever reasons. And I was broken. There were moments where I was pretty much sure that like emotionally I was dead. It killed me. And I think slowly crawling through that, it was the first time that I was truly happy within myself. And so I felt like I lost it all. And so I just focused on me. I focused on my kids. We were all healing. We all just leaned on each other. And I just dove into myself and what I wanted in life and how I was going to do that. And every single waking moment of my life was me.
Mm-hmm.
I had given so much of me to somebody else that it was time to give it to myself for once, obviously, and my kids. And my coaches and my support system was unbelievable. And they never let me stop believing. They let me cry in the gym. And then it was like, hey, time to do your work now. Like, and you do you, but you're coming back in and you're getting this done. And they never let me stop believing in who I was. And that definitely catapulted me. And it gave me a sense of confidence that I didn't even know that it was gone. I didn't know how much was ripped away from me. And little by little and day by day, I guess I became what I was always supposed to be, that I put on the back burner for so long. And it just, it kept going. I think the breaking point was I was told that I would never be good enough because I wasn't a pro. And that's crazy. That broke me something pretty good. And I said, you know what? Fuck you.
I felt that in my soul. Okay.
I was like, really? Listen. and that was that. And I won provincials. I won nationals. I won my pro card. I set the lightweight amateur circus dumbbell record. I set the lightweight pro log record, the world under 62K axle lifted record. And I was invited to the official strongman games, Arnold. It just kind of.
I feel like whoever you broke up with, because I don't know, he lost. If you guys have not seen her ass selfies on Instagram, you missing out, man. Like, you look like you're packing heat. Like, I don't know if I believe you about your weight. You need to go grab a scale right now and stand on it. But it's like body shaming. It ain't body shaming. It's called body loving. I'm celebrating your body. I mean, your waist's like this big. Your ass is like this big. Your thighs are like just a little bit smaller. I mean, I got leg jealousy. Like, when I see that, you are the definition of my shirt, like base, drumstick legs. You want some thighs with that? You don't need thighs. You got the drumsticks. They're the meatiest, hardest drumsticks you will ever cut. They are so beautiful. Anyways, I see you with your like socks and shit. You make me want to buy socks. You make me want to do booty band workouts. So I just want to say thank you for sharing the world. I love socks. Pink socks. Unicorn socks.
Granted, Instagram makes me look a lot taller than I am.
No, you stretch. No, her waist is like this big. There's like a song about that. I'll find it. I'll put it in the comments below. So anyways, so for moms, women, people who are in a shit relationship, whether it's a marriage, divorce, currently in a relationship, just broke up or whatever, and they're just feeling like how you felt in the moment, and or even just your fans, like who are starting out, what are some things you want to say to them that you wish somebody would have said to you in those moments that you feel from your heart? So, girl.
It's actually, I actually said something to myself that stuck with me for a long time. It was a Friday. I was driving on a dirt road to my client's house to clean, and I was bawling my eyes out. And I said, Holly, I said, 5 years ago, you never thought that you would be in this position. You never thought that you would love somebody, that you would be broken then afterwards. It was just not in the realm of your ability to think.
Yeah.
So in 6 months, what's possible that you can't now imagine? And something about that just, it rang in my head that if it won't matter in 5 years, it's not worth more than 5 minutes thinking about. Obviously, give yourself the time, feel the break, feel whatever it is you're going through, whether it's a job loss, like you said, a relationship, a divorce, allow yourself to feel that hurt and then work through that hurt to understand that if you don't have that hurt, you're never going to know what happiness is. Yeah. That's what's going to make you exactly who you are and where you need to be. The more hurt, more failures, the more shit that this world puts on you, the better off you're going to be. Yes. And if you're wondering, my biggest thing is if you're wondering if you can make it through and if you can live through it, you're still standing.
I'm still standing, bitch. Try me. That's what I'm trying to say today without Karen. You know, I was taking a hike and I was like doing a test and I was feeling fabulous and I was wearing this, you know, and this like old lady like was yelling at me with my headphones on, something about my weight. I'll pull off my headphones and her back was to me and I was like, what you got to say now? Let's do this. I'm confident. I'm a grown woman. You know, I love myself. Bring it.
And you know what? Sometimes we gotta fake it before we make it. Sometimes we have to be like, you know what? I'm a badass bitch and I got this. And you don't think it, but the more times that you tell yourself that, the more positive talk that you tell yourself, eventually you learn to believe it. And when all else fails, I just drink wine and bourbon.
Becomes a default setting. I do tequila, but I don't recommend that because I got pregnant on my IUD and I was like deadlifting and I was like drinking tequila. And it's pretty good that I was like, you know what? Nobody should be nauseous for like a month. And I did a little testy test. So be careful with the tequila, ladies. I'm just saying, you know, make sure you do your testy test. But anyway,
it's how I got pregnant with both of mine was unfortunately alcohol. Yep. Yeah.
I yelled at my husband, like, you drive me to drink, oh, you know, it's my little shot of tequila. And I'm like, it's your fault. It's all your fault. And if we have sex because it's tequila in 2 hours, that's also your fault. If there's a first date and you're not ready, that's also your fault. Not my fault. I told you what happens when you drive me drinks tequila, okay? So anyways.
See, the greatest part about single mom, I don't have to worry about getting pregnant. I just sit at home all by myself and I drink and I pet my dog and I watch my movies and I'm out.
It's like
no,
start having a nightmare because there's like his thing behind me and I'm like, get that thing away from me. I don't want the baby. Listen, I don't care. When I was a kid, my mom and my stepdad had a separate room and I was like, how do you have a separate room? You don't love each other. You ain't even remember what the hell is that? Now I have a separate room, okay? I'm like, listen, I like my sleep. I like my fuzzy pillows and my pink sheets and my whole room has unicorns and freaking pink. This is all like jet stuff. It's all blue. And I'm like, your bed is so hard. You know, it's like Goldilocks. And so when he was in my room, I'm like, get out of my room. It's my bedtime. But then when I'm like, I have no problem when he's always 4, like 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey, after I've been listening. That's an asshole. I might have mom by keeping up. So anyways, name 10 exercises, rapid fire, that you consistently help you gain strength. Go.
I'm not doing 10.
Okay.
I'm gonna say stick to the basics. Deadlift, squat, overhead, incline bench for strongman. It's better carryover. Do different variations of it. The compound movements are big. And then make sure that your accessories are to those compound movements. Make sure you're doing a push and a pull exercise. You're not just working one side of your muscles, obviously. You don't need to be fancy. You just keep it simple. Keep adding weight, change up your sets and your reps. And I don't know if I have 10 specific exercises that I love. I also don't do my own programming.
Up and down, pull up. Listen, you can be fancy and shit. You got yourself a glitter belt.
I think I'd have to call Max and be like, Max, what are the 10 exercises you give me the most to build strength?
I don't even know. Like when I got a coach, they're like, can you give me your logbook? I'm like, it's a hot mess. It's like degenerate style. Like, don't even read it because it makes no sense. Because I'm always tired at the gym and shit. Because I always train at night, and I'd be like, I think that's kgs lightweight. I'm pretty sure I'm bad with math, so I'm not positive. I have no idea where I'm at. And then just cross your fingers. I have no clue, man. I'm like, I feel stronger. And then I have to like watch my own videos to know where I'm at because I don't remember. But
I have to all of my stuff and I watch it to obviously look at my form and I send it to my medical team and stuff, but usually it's just to keep track of what numbers I actually did because I have no idea.
Yeah. I think my rule of thumb is like, if you're starting out, like you're beginner, intermediate to advanced is a little bit different, but if you're beginner to intermediate, you know, you want to stick to, I would say minimum 5 exercises that you do consistently, whether it's, you know, 3 days a week, 2 days a week, no fail. Even if it's like a horrible week and you got in there once, it's still better than nothing. 1% advancement makes you like 360 times better in the year. But anyways, like stick with that. And then if you can slowly, once you got that consistent, you add another movement or add a little like 20 minutes of cardio. Like don't just pile that shit on, right? Like get a little good, get a little better, get more better, get amazing, become badass. And that's how it goes.
Stick to the main movements. Make sure you get down I mean, form and technique is above all the most important thing. For strongman, you have to be good at like 35 different events. So eventually you're going to add in, you know, front squats are a good carryover for stones, and, you know, incline bench, good to carry over for log. But just starting off, like stick to the basics. And then slowly, absolutely, once you get comfortable with things, once you're understanding your form, then add on some things, but don't make it too complicated.
Yeah, don't get crazy. So anyways, describe some habits and rituals that you do before training and competing. How to get yourself hot.
Okay, so right now, should I be telling you what a personal trainer should be telling you, or what
You
I
say
actually?
anything, girl. You say anything. This is a podcast. This ain't radio. You can say what you want.
I recommend not doing what I do.
But we want to be naughty just like you.
There was a weight cut where I drank vodka in the bath at the same time the night before. Like it.
You an alcoholic, girl. Just kidding.
Like, I can't live through this weight cut. I need to do. Oh, yeah. So.
I have dirty secrets too, but you first.
So, leading up to a competition, you want to stick to your training to a T. Your food is very, very important. If you're doing a weight cut, you want to slowly get as close to that weight beforehand, so you're not going to do a really big weight cut. If you don't have to do a weight cut, it is obviously the best. A lot of it's mentally. You want to get in the zone. You want to picture yourself.
I want to get in the zone.
You do, yeah.
I want to get in the zone. It's feeling kind of frisky.
You want to get confident, but you need to not be cocky. You got to take your ego out of it. Obviously, you're there to do a job, and you're not going to get stronger in the last month of your training. That's about perfecting, right?
Yeah.
Making sure that you're consistently doing the same thing.
Endurance, get that endurance up.
And
because
knowing a game plan. Yeah, you need a game plan. Obviously, you need to know how you're going to handle events in strongman. Specifically, anything is possible. So you've got to learn to just roll with it. So if you're going to train outside in the rain, train when it's a hot day, train in crappy terrain. Like, just do it all, because you never know what's going to happen.
Make it work. Like when I walk with my son with the stroller, this is something I didn't do with my first, but like when it's been started. So like right now I'm doing all these fitness challenges with my walking, with my raise. Oh yes, you guys. So I'm going to be posting a ton of them. We're just finishing one up right now. There's some more days that you can still join. And it's to raise awareness about bullying to kids and kids with disabilities. So basically, it's our team is called Panda Strong. With whatever competition we are doing, we're doing a virtual walk. So all you gotta do is basically enter your steps once a day or once a week or whatever by the end of the month. And you can win prizes from me and from the actual organization. So if you want more info, check us on our Facebook and our TikTok. But yeah, you know what? This whole time, it's been like, I'm not joking. I hear Manto, it's been like sleeting, snow, hail. And then it goes back to sunshine 2 hours later. So when I picked up my son, it was like I was freezing. It was hailing out. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep walking, because then I don't get my kilometers in. And then when I came back, it was nice. And I was like, all right, let's go to the park. So you just have to go with the flow. And then when actually it's a sunny day and the competition is chill, you know, you're just going to ace it, because you push through with your endurance. You push through those mental games, those different environments, right? And if you've set yourself up in a comfortable situation to push through, then it just, everything becomes easier over time, because you've already gone to that, right? You've already aced that. So, so on that topic, what are some of the challenges that you had to overcome training for the sport, and how did you overcome them?
I definitely have to say my injuries have been the number one obstacle, and obviously finding the time to train as a single mom. Those have been two really big obstacles. Having my shoulder injury, I learned that it's actually from my spine, which then my spine got injured, and so now it's just a whole big mess. And again, overcoming it was, you know, it's a mental game, discipline, support system, taking it one day at a time, finding the time to train as a single parent, again, scheduling, making sure it works. Mentally, this that a strong man can be pretty hard on you. If you get kind of sucked into comparing, if you're focusing on other people, if you're putting yourself down. So you've got to learn to kind of just, you got to live for you. You have to know your goal, your why. Pick your why and stick to that why. Don't compare. Don't also, I see a lot when people are posting and they put themselves down in their own post without realizing it, going, well, I know it's not that good, or I'm not where I need to be yet, but you are where you are. Be proud of what you're doing, be proud of where you are, boost yourself up, and that's, and just be okay with that. Have goals, obviously, but don't put yourself down where you are.
100%. So on the topic of getting, 3 months preseason training plan, for people who are planning to, compete in the summer, what are some tips you have in terms of getting that going, or what are some things you recommend if you're going to be 3 weeks away from your first competition to start doing in your training or your nutrition or etc.?
3 weeks or 3 months?
Sorry, 3 months. Girl, it's not time of that, okay? 3 months. That's how long it's been since they had some Nikki.
Know your events, obviously. Big thing. Make sure you know your events inside and out. Start training those events. Perfect practice makes perfect. So doing those events consistently, that doesn't mean going into the gym and blowing your load. All right. Maxing out is for the competition floor, not for the gym. So make sure you know those events. Continuously practice them over and over and over again properly. Make sure that the accessory works, the other workouts that you're doing are to benefit those specific events that you're doing. Make sure that your sleep, your recovery, your stretching is there. It is so important when you are peaking 3 months, 2 months in, 3 weeks out, you're pushing your body. You are giving it everything you've got. Make sure that your sleep is there. Your food is there. That food is going to energize you in the gym. So definitely pay attention to it. Put everything you've got into it, but have fun. Enjoy every training and then go into competition and have fun.
Yeah. So when it comes to getting into this, there's, I'm sure, women who've inspired your journey. So what are some of the women that have inspired you?
Oh,
this time.
That's a long list. Holy Lanta. I'm going to feel bad
Oh,
if I
I know that's all. Oh, it's from the house, right? Oh.
I think my number one inspirations are my sisters. They inspire me to be everything in my life, not just strong woman. There's so many female lifters. I feel bad. I think I'm gonna have to make a post after this and start tagging them all.
Okay, all right, do that. Please do that, all right? And you guys can follow them on Instagram.
I think I would leave out so many people that I would feel really bad. My best friend Amanda, she's a huge supporter. She's always there for me. I look up to her. Obviously my coach Sam, she's big. You've had some of my people on there, like some of the people I look up to, Bailey, Jackie, Steph. I love
Bailey and I love Jackie. Like, oh my God, all of you guys are such incredible women. Like, I'm so blessed to have you. Like, honestly, like, I just feel indebted because I don't know where I'd be if it wasn't for, all these women virtually and on Instagram who have, I don't know, just made it seem possible, right?
Yes.
In times, in situations where you're going through hell personally and you can't talk about it, and talking about it makes it worse, and you can't find anyone who understands. You just need to escape it into something positive. And that's been IG, man. Like, that's why I interviewed Sue, because like, I just found some photo of her. I think it was on Google. I still to this day don't know, but I was like, oh shit, there's a heavyweight, because my whole life I was told, you're not this or you're this. And so like, when I saw, I was like, oh damn, so then I can do it too. So yeah, follow the shit out of people, because that's
Yes.
important. That will, there's no way you can lose from that. It'll just inspire you. And if you Instagram them or comment, they will comment back.
Yeah. I think I think I'm gonna have to go make a story and apologize to and be like, I love you all.
So in like you kind of talked about with your business, but do you think with all the success you've had personally, professionally, like you would have that if you didn't have strongman? So like, how has this sport affected you in that way?
It's when I started, I guess strongman or lifting competitively, I wasn't even I wasn't aware of just how broken I was. And going into the gym and, you know, failing or pushing past something that you never thought that you could do really played into the rest of my life. And it made me break down kind of who I was and what I wanted to be. And you walk into that gym, and if you haven't put in the effort, you haven't put in the hours, you haven't eaten correctly, you know, 300 pounds is 300 pounds at the end of the day. It's not going to lift if you haven't put in the work to get there. Like, it's just not happening.
I'm a big bitch. People just think I can do things all the time. I'm like, I need to eat. I got cramps. You know what I mean? Like, even for a big girl, I got to do things around.
And so I think I definitely carried into the rest of my life, whether I'm happy, sad, frustrated, excited. I'm all of those fuel me in a different way in the gym. And if I'm going through something rough in my life, I go into the gym, could be a good day, and then I, you know, have that to put into that crappy thing that happened in my life, or it ends up being a really shit day in the gym, and then I've got to work through that, which teaches me then how to work through the problems in my life.
Yes.
So I 100% don't believe that I would be who I am or healed the way that I am now without StrongWoman.
I feel you, girl. So when you're at the gym, what are some of your favorite jams to get you pumped? Oh, pump the jam, pump it up if you're feeling naughty.
Well, if you look at my Instagram, you see me dance a lot on my stories. You probably see those songs.
Get from that face to face, get your booty on the floor tonight, make my day. Come on, do it.
No.
Come on. Don't drop that.
Definitely a lot less shy.
Come on. I have Robin listeners are waiting for an ass shot. I'm just kidding.
I'll stand up and shake my butt, but I'm not singing.
Shake it, wiggle it. Okay, I'll do the singing, you wiggle it. Go. Wiggle with it. Do 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 do. Yes. You know.
So I think my music collection is very, very strange depending on what my mood is.
Yeah, but like, what's your entrance song? There's always a song when you're pushing for like gains in the gym that really makes you go, ah, besides smelling salts, you know?
But you know what? I don't like smelling salts. Oh, that hurts. Oh, it kills me.
I can't do it. I don't know if it's from my years of bleaching, but it makes me like physically ill. Like I can do it a little bit, but I definitely couldn't do it all the time or every lift. I don't know. I think it's because I'm asthmatic. I don't know.
I think I've learned, I mean, I could PR to a slow country song and I can PR to metal.
What?
Yeah.
That's because you a badass bitch.
When I've learned to not focus on, people get into it and only need a specific song when they're lifting and stuff. And when you're in competition, that's not the way that it goes.
Yes.
So I've learned to not make myself prone to whatever is playing. So I can go for a lift no matter what's playing. Will I change it? Yeah, but if it's on there, I mean, you could put on the YMCA and I'm still gonna go for that fucking lift. I don't care.
Oh my God. Okay, so this needs to be said. What you just said is so facts, because when I did my first Highland competition, the fuckers are messing with me, man. I was trying to win with the weight over bar, okay? And they're putting on fucking like country songs and Britney Spears and shit and just fucking with me. Like the biggest, cheesiest white girl songs. I'm like, you know what, assholes? Like Taylor Swift. And I'm like, it was funny now, but at the time I was a different human. I was just like insecure, and I was like, why are you guys doing this? Like messing with my head. But it's actually pretty hilarious, you know. So you have to, you can't try to set yourself up for the perfect situations, because that's not life. You can't hyper control life. You could do the right things every day, put the effort in. Sometimes it just doesn't work out, and that's okay. That is okay. That does not mean you are a failure. Failing does not make you a failure. And you know what? The best failures are also the best winners, man, because they got back up. I'm proud of my fails. They say to have one successful
Word.
business, you have to, yes, word, straight up, yes. I want to think, you get me all hyped to it. Anyway, flex time. What are you not flexing with me? Oh, shit. Oh, thing just cracked. The world just exploded. To a sexy floor, and then you do the flexing. But yes, no, it's true, man. Like, you know, the best competitors usually have the most shit challenges, and that's why they are the winners. Winner. Yeah. So, anyways, if you want to get coaching from Holly, where's your IG again? Go with your IG.
McRae Strong Fitness.
Yes. So follow her, and we will have the links. We are also going to be doing. She's going to be doing a fitness challenge. All right. So stay tuned. It's going to be hilarious. I'm going to force her to wiggle.
What's going to happen?
She didn't consent in a contract. I just, you know, anyways.
I feel like we should actually like give my fitness challenge to them, and then they can give me a fitness challenge.
Oh, hey, I like that. Oh, you know what? But then we can test and see who is the strongest of them all the lightweight guest speakers of all the different sports. I like this. I like it. I like where it's going. Okay, you guys, so make sure you TikTok
Crap.
Crap. Shit, you said I'll make you say it. So make sure you guys tag, share, copy the link. Just Panda Strong Podcast or Fantastic Dads or tag me, tag her, and then I'm gonna keep her accountable. Okay, make her do it. So make sure you find ones with ass wiggling or booty pads, because we all know she won't want to do those. That's safe for the OnlyFans site. But anyway, so on that topic as well is if you guys haven't seen your Panda Strong store, it's fan-freaking-tabulous. All the merch designs on there are designed by me, and they're inspired by the athletes that I've had on the show, things that they've said or jokes we've made. And what's really cool is that it supports the athletes in two ways. But we also have our virtual strength competition, which is going to be coming into the summer. And I'm going to be taking like 5% of those sales of the merch towards the athlete grant. So whoever wins in the lightweight, middleweight, heavyweight on the virtual comp, and it's for amateurs to pro, details to follow, will get an athlete grant. And that's going to be used for your training, your equipment, whatever, which is something unique and one of a kind. So please share our store, buy some merch. If you're interested in repping your brand, let us know. If there's somebody you want us to interview on the show, let us know. We're always looking for BIPOC, people with disabilities and diverse people to be on the show. So make sure you tag us and let us know. And if you're a competition host or strength of brand, apparel, equipment brand, anything, you can join our resources directory so that our athletes in our StrongWoman of Canada group can find you. So we're all about connecting you guys with the things you need. Your feedback is extremely important to us, so let us know your thoughts. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. We show up in the algorithms, and share this. And if you just want to buy me a coffee so that I can translate my sentences at 10 o'clock at night, there's a little button called Buy Me a Coffee and her tequila and wine. No, we should have a shot contest of some kind. We should. I'm just saying we need to have versus. We could do lightweight versus and challenges with the guest speakers. I see us. I love them. It's going down.
Wait a sec. I'm gonna start this. Here we go.
Oh God, I can't. Oh, okay, wait. Cheers. Wait. Cheers to years of success, and cheers to all the listeners, and cheers. And yeah, we love you guys so much, my badass pandas. Thank you so much, Holly McRae. Hey, don't drop that dunk. Take a beat on our show. Don't drop that dunk. Don't drop that dunk. Anyways, you know what? Listen, my husband.
I can't even do that. Like I don't have the boobs to like.
This may seem good for the hip hop, but when you're running, it's like my back, shit.
That's like I always think somebody's clapping from behind, but then I realize it's my ass. Just
oh, you watch out! You're gonna have DMs, sliding DMs.
Yeah.
I have that with my titties. I'm just saying the clap, smack. You know what I mean? My baby, I can't put him in the baby wear thing in the front because my boobs are in the way. And people are like, why don't you just wear a baby? I'm like, shut up, you titties. You don't know what you're talking about, okay?